Am I the asshole for telling my sister I am never babysitting or being childcare for her and her husband again? My 29 female sister 32 female asked me if I could babysit Thursday and Friday afternoons after school for her and her husband while they work. I said sure, no problem. I love my niece and nephew and I love spending time with them. It was also a nice way to get to know her husband's 2 kids better when they had them. It has worked great for 3 years I have been doing it. Then I started doing an occasional Saturday night for their date nights. For a while I have had some issues with her husband. There were nights he didn't have his kids from a previous relationship but he wanted me to babysit as well and I never felt comfortable with this. When it is his parenting time, absolutely no problem. But I know his ex from a past job and I do not want to get involved with her level of crazy which babysitting on her parenting time could potentially bring to my door. My sister and I talked about this before and she got him to back off for the most part. Because of this I was happy to continue. So last Saturday I was supposed to babysit for them to have a kid-free night after months of craziness due to COVID. My sister's husband shows up with all the kids because it was their parenting time and his ex's younger child and her boyfriend's kids. Nobody said anything to me. I never agreed to have all those kids and at the door he acted like an ass because I told him I was not babysitting all those kids. I called my sister and she said she had no idea he would do that. I told her that I am tired of him pushing and that last night crossed a line for me and I am not willing to subject myself to the pressure again. Not to mention it made me feel like an ass having to deal with it while all the kids were standing there. Some of whom I had never laid eyes on before. My sister is understandably hurt but said she understands. Her husband is telling me I'm an asshole for dropping out of things on such short notice. Am I the asshole?
Not the asshole. He tried to take advantage of you babysitting by dropping more kids on you unexpectedly. He doesn't deserve you as a babysitter.
Not the asshole. What a lot of nerve, dropping kids off that you don't even know and expecting you to watch them. That's a whole lot of asshole behavior on his part.
Absolutely not the asshole. You agreed to babysit their kids, not to start a daycare at your house. What's wrong with him? To just show up with an army of kids. Not the asshole. Oh, so he doesn't like when things are dropped short notice. He doesn't like sudden plan changes. How ironic. Yeah, no, I wonder how he would like to have extra kids dumped on him when he tries to babysit. You and your sister and your niece and your nephew still have a good relationship and that's the important part. It's a shame your sister's husband had to get greedy but you stood your ground and you still have your family.
Hang on. So your sister's husband tried to have you babysit your sister's kids, and your sister's husband's kids part of the initial deal so far, and additionally your sister's husband's ex-chief's kids, and your sister's husband's ex-chief's boyfriend's kids. I think I'ma have to draw a family tree of sorts to make this make sense, but you are not the asshole. Sister's husband is, however, the asshole for dropping all of those extra kids on you without prior notice. Christ.
Not the asshole. Gotta love choosy beggar logic. It's perfectly fine for him to make changes to your arrangement with no notice. But when you do it, it's unfair.
Not the asshole. Why is he trying to get someone to watch his ex's kids? Let alone her boyfriend's kids as well? Unless all 4 of the parents were going out together, they weren't. How did this even enter into his zone of responsibility? I'm really confused.
Not the asshole. At least your sister is being reasonable about this. She understands that her husband was a jerk and these are the consequences. Your brother-in-law is a big-time jerk.
Not the asshole. I feel sorry for your sister.
Not the asshole. You made your limits clear. The fact that he didn't mention the other kids to his wife first means he knew he was out of line and wanted to force your hand by showing up at your door and putting you in an awkward position where it was hard to say no. My only concern is your relationship with your niece and nephew. I recommend you make every effort to make sure that they know that the reason you stopped babysitting doesn't have anything to do with them, especially if they're too young to understand what's going on. Not the asshole. That guy has got a lot of nerve. I think it's really cheeky that he shares custody of his kids from a previous relationship and yet when it's his time to have them, he wants you to babysit them.
Not the asshole. Not even a little bit. He knew you were not willing to watch the other kids. He insisted on trying to dump them on you. Your sister can be upset at him for ruining childcare. He is a massive asshole though.
Not the asshole. What's up with people huffing and puffing and demanding your whole arm when you are kind enough to give a hand? There's no universe where you're the R. First, he shouldn't even have thought of leaving you babysitting 8 kids, 4 of whom you've never seen. In case of a lapse of judgment, the very least he should have done is ask. He totally crossed a line and you're right to enforce boundaries.
Holy shot. Not the asshole. At all. Not even a little bit. Not an ounce. Not a gram. He on the other hand is a huge one and needs to figure it out, cause nothing of what he did was okay. I'm sorry he's done this and put you in such a weird position.
Not the asshole, but your sister's husband definitely is. You've clearly been helping them out for a while, so it's not like it was just a miscommunication. I would definitely not be babysitting until the husband apologies and understands that you're not babysitting for them all.
Not the asshole. The husband is totally taking liberties and doesn't deserve any future babysitting from you. He knew full well he was pushing his luck and was banking on you being too easily manipulated to make an issue in front of all those kids. If his actions were so innocent and well-intentioned, why didn't his wife know what he was trying to force you into? Well done you for standing your ground. I hope your sister rains down hell on her husband for his behavior. Stick to your guns. Never means never. Don't ever look after the children again.
Not the asshole, for all the reasons above. Also, you don't know if the other parents even know where their kids are. They may think they're at your Bill's house.
Not the asshole. I would also be done babysitting for them. Guy's a jackass.
Not the asshole. Wow, just wow. I had to read this 4 times. The nerve of that guy.
Not the asshole. Your brother-in-law and your sister were taking advantage of you. And it kept getting worse.
Not the asshole. Plus, does the mother's children even know that you're watching the kids? Doesn't that create some sort of liability issue? Definitely not in the wrong to say that you are not comfortable watching them. He should respect that.
Okay, wait. Your sister's kids. Your BIL's kids. But also your BIL's ex's kid S. And her boyfriend's kid S. This is an insane liability issue. Not only do you know absolutely nothing about these kids' allergies, mental health issues. If mom is psycho, is boyfriend psycho? Psycho is as psycho does. Usually, do you have emergency contact info? What if something happened? Do all the kids get along? Had the kids even met before? What if there's an instance where one kid beats the hell out of another? That will absolutely be pinned on you. Not the asshole. Don't touch that situation with a 10-foot pole.
Not the asshole. That is totally inappropriate of her husband. Not the asshole. Her husband is telling me I'm an asshole for dropping out of things on such short notice. What does that make him for bringing at least 3 more children that are not even his? So now you are the free-at-will babysitter for his ex to have time off as well?
Def not the asshole. Your brother-in-law is shady as fuck to do that behind your sister's back.
NTA, and do not babysit ever again. The absolute nerve of that jackass.
Not the asshole. That guy is a doormat for his ex. And then expects you to share the consequences of him not having a backbone. Your sister's husband is a tool.
Of course you're not the asshole. No one gets to show up with a bunch of kids and just expect you to watch them.
Wait, so how many kids did you end up sitting for? 8.
Not the asshole. Her husband is telling me I'm an asshole for dropping out of things on such short notice. What he really means is, how dare you call me on my bullshit after I deliberately chose to spring this on you without notice or permission? You were supposed to be ambushed and feel pushed to accept because I already had the kids there. That's so rude. How dare you have boundaries? I hope you made him take the random extra kids straight home. Edit. Thank you, kind stranger, for the award.
If he has his kids, there's no kid-free evening for him. That's the point. He's supposed to spend time with them since he doesn't see them all the time.
Not the asshole. Op, you've done nothing wrong, even in front of those kids. He knew what he was doing, trying to use you as a free daycare. Start charging them to watch their kids, and tell them any more than your niece and nephew will be 100 per child up front and 20 times number of kids for every hour. See how quick he quits that shit.
Not the asshole, and fair play to you for standing up for yourself. You were being incredibly generous to help as much as you were, and that he would push his luck beyond that is extraordinary. Stand firm. Not the asshole. You made the terms of your availability clear. He violated those boundaries. Then he got pissy that you didn't bend and take in a herd of kids, some not even his. Not at all the ass, and I hope your sister is learning something about her husband.
Not the asshole, just have a lot of questions though. And his ex's younger child and her boyfriend's kids. What the hell? They just had all this kids from all different parents together and thought they could just drop them off at your place. Her boyfriend's kids, so your sister has a husband and a boyfriend, or the kid she has with a boyfriend. What about boyfriend's kid's baby mama? These people should stop having more children really. I feel kinda bad for the kids if they have to do a family tree, hard to keep track. I'm still not sure how everyone is related. Not the asshole.
Not the asshole, you were providing a service and your sister's husband entirely abused it. And then was abusive on top of it.
Not the asshole. You didn't drop out of anything last minute, he showed up and tried to push your boundaries last minute. We all know who the asshole is here and so does he.
Not the asshole, you agreed to your blood relatives, and his previous kids on occasion. Why does he keep trying to dump extra children on you? They're not yours. They're certainly not his and you're not free labor for his ex either. Where the fuck do they keep coming from and why? He is 100% the asshole here, and I'm proud of you for telling him no. Your sister is gonna kill him when they have to start actually paying for a sitter, and not getting all those kid-free hours that they were. Grab some popcorn and enjoy the meltdown. Not the asshole. Bill is refusing to take no for an answer. You laid out your ground rules and he tried to force you to break them. This is like the seriously uncute equivalent of when I asked my dad for a hamster as a kid by bringing it home and asking with the little thing in my hands. This is just not how things are done. This might be a little extreme, but I really hope his refusal to take no for an answer doesn't extend to other parts of his life. Bill crossed a line. Your sister understands and her hurt is more than likely directed at him rather than you. Don't let yourself feel guilty.
Unbelievable how certain men will assume you'll be a personal nanny when they need one. If you don't have kids that they look after in return, then he best be at your house 2 afternoons a week being your personal handyman and performing janitorial duties and general upkeep.
Not the asshole, but I'm calling bullshit on your sister's reaction to him showing up with 4 extra kids. Where did the extra kids come from that she didn't know he was trying to drop them off at your place?
Why is he bringing his ex's kids anywhere?
Her husband is telling me I'm an asshole for dropping out of things on such short notice. He changed plans on you with no notice. You're not the asshole op. You set clear boundaries which he brother-in-law didn't respect.
Not the asshole. You're the aw. You made it clear that you weren't watching his kids unless it was his parenting time, and then he tries to be slick and drop off multiple kids that aren't even his at all, without asking or informing you ahead of time. Guess what? All this next level, shady bullshit aside, you aren't obligated to watch anyone's kids ever. You have every right to insist that nobody takes advantage of you.
Not the asshole. I know it means you're kind of shooting your sister too, but don't do anything for that ass. I'm an asshole for dropping out of things on such short notice. If he can't see the irony of dropping out of things on such short notice, he's beyond stupid.
So he thinks you're an a-hole for ending your free babysitting on short notice because he isn't respecting your boundaries. But he sees no issue with bringing kids to you that you've never even met before with no notice? Yeah, that sounds completely reasonable, and not hypocritical at all. Not the asshole 100%. Not the asshole. I swear, the level of entitlement I read about in these posts is making my faith in humanity plummet. Your brother-in-law really needs to check himself.
NTA. I'ma say something off topic. YTF, haven't I seen any you are the asshole posts? Like it's so boring reading all these not the asshole ones.